confidence doesn't come from trying to fit into a mold or from pretending to be something you're not. It doesn't come from external sources of validation, nor does it come from impressing others with what you think they want to see. Real confidence is found in being yourself, unapologetically, and with the understanding that who you are is enough. In a world that constantly tells us how we should look, act, or behave, the true power lies in standing firm in your authenticity. The journey toward confidence begins within. It's about embracing who you are, both the good and the parts that might not feel so perfect. You see, confidence isn't about perfection, it's about acceptance. It's the courage to be vulnerable, to acknowledge your flaws and still stand tall in the knowledge that your worth isn't defined by these imperfections. We all face doubts and insecurities, but when you learn to love and accept yourself as you are, you will begin to notice a shift. You'll stop worrying about others' opinions and start focusing on your own growth and happiness. One of the most common traps we fall into is thinking that confidence comes from doing what everyone else is doing. Society bombards us with standards, whether it's in the way we look, what we achieve, or how we act. But the truth is, the more you try to be someone else, the more disconnected you feel from your own identity. Confidence isn't found in comparisons. It's about celebrating your individuality, recognizing your unique qualities, and trusting that these are the things that make you valuable. So often, we look outside of ourselves for reassurance, seeking approval from others. We base our self-worth on likes, comments, or compliments. But real confidence isn't dependent on how others see you. It's about how you see yourself, how you value your own worth and what you bring to the table, regardless of whether others recognize it. The most powerful version of yourself is the one that doesn't try to impress, but simply exists. True confidence radiates from someone who knows who they are, is comfortable in their own skin, and refuses to apologize for being themselves. It is a quiet strength that doesn't need validation because it is self-assured. It's time to embrace that power, because when you truly allow yourself to be you, you open the door to the most authentic, confident version of yourself. And that is where your true strength lies. Confidence begins with a fundamental truth. You are enough as you are. The world often sends messages that tell us we need to be someone else to succeed, to be loved, or to fit in. These expectations, whether from society, social media, or other people, can lead us to feel inadequate, like we're constantly falling short of some ideal. But real confidence doesn't stem from trying to be someone you're not. It comes from embracing who you are, flaws and all. Self-acceptance is the foundation of true confidence. When you accept yourself, you stop seeking external validation or approval. You recognize that your value isn't tied to someone else's expectations or standards. Instead, you find peace in knowing that your uniqueness is what makes you worthy. This doesn't mean ignoring areas where you want to grow or improve. Rather, it means acknowledging where you are right now and loving yourself through it. The process of self-acceptance requires you to let go of comparison. In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in comparing your life to others, especially with the constant exposure to the curated lives of people on social media. But comparison breeds insecurity, and insecurity erodes confidence. When you focus on your journey, celebrate your progress, and honor your individual path, you give yourself the space to grow at your own pace without the weight of comparison. Accepting yourself also means embracing your imperfections. Nobody is perfect, and part of being truly confident is understanding that flaws are a natural part of being human. These imperfections don't diminish your value, they make you relatable, authentic, and real. Confidence isn't about striving for perfection, it's about owning your story and feeling empowered by the fact that you are exactly who you're meant to be at this moment. Self-acceptance is an ongoing process. It's about consistently choosing to love and honor yourself, even when you don't feel your best or when the world is telling you to be someone else. The more you practice self-acceptance, the stronger your confidence will become. And when you truly believe that you are enough, you'll start to see the world differently, not as a place where you can shine just as you are. Confidence begins with the fundamental truth: you are enough as you are. The world often sends messages that tell us we need to be someone else to succeed, to be loved, or to fit in. These expectations, whether from society, social media, or other people, can lead us to feel inadequate, like we're constantly falling short of some ideal. But real confidence doesn't stem from trying to be someone you're not. It comes from embracing who you are, flaws and all. Self-acceptance is the foundation of true confidence. When you accept yourself, you stop seeking external validation or approval. You recognize that your value isn't tied to someone else's expectations or standards. Instead, you find peace in knowing that your uniqueness is what makes you worthy. This doesn't mean ignoring areas where you want to grow or improve. Rather, it means acknowledging where you are right now and loving yourself through it. The process of self-acceptance requires you to let go of comparison. In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in comparing your life to others, especially with the constant exposure to the curated lives of people on social media. But comparison breeds insecurity, and insecurity erodes confidence. When you focus on your journey, celebrate your progress, and honor your individual path, you give yourself the space to grow at your own pace without the weight of comparison. Accepting yourself also means embracing your imperfections. Nobody is perfect, and part of being truly confident is understanding that flaws are a natural part of being human. These imperfections don't diminish your value, they make you relatable, authentic, and real. Confidence isn't about striving for perfection, it's about owning your story and feeling empowered by the fact that you are exactly who you're meant to be at this moment. Self-acceptance is an ongoing process. It's about consistently choosing to love and honor yourself, even when you don't feel your best or when the world is telling you to be someone else. The more you practice self-acceptance, the stronger your confidence will become. And when you truly believe that you are enough, you'll start to see the world differently, not as a place where you can shine just as you are. Many people look for validation from others to feel good about themselves. However, real confidence comes from within, not from the opinions of others. When you stop relying on others for approval, you begin to trust in your own judgment and decisions. The moment you let go of the need for external validation, you set yourself free to live authentically and confidently without fear of being judged. External validation, whether from friends, family, or society, often becomes a measure of self-worth. We find ourselves questioning, am I good enough? Or do they approve of me? These questions can lead to constant self-doubt, especially when the answers we get from others don't align with our desires or expectations. The truth is, the more we depend on others to tell us who we are or what we're worth, the more disconnected we become from our true selves. To truly embrace confidence, we must learn to value ourselves independent of external opinions. Confidence isn't about pleasing everyone around you. It's about recognizing your own worth and aligning with your personal values. This shift in mindset requires courage, the courage to stop seeking approval and to stand firm in your own identity. When you stop depending on others' validation, you open yourself up to authentic relationships, growth, and success on your terms, not on someone else. It's important to realize that not everyone will always agree with or approve of you, and that's okay. People's opinions are often influenced by their own experiences, biases, or insecurities, and they don't define who you are. What matters is how you see yourself. When you trust your own judgment and make decisions that align with your values, confidence naturally follows. You stop looking outward for approval and start turning inward to find strength. Letting go of the need for validation from others can be liberating. It empowers you to make decisions based on your own beliefs and goals. Your confidence becomes rooted in your authenticity, which is far more powerful than any external approval could ever be. When you stop seeking validation, you start living for yourself. And that's when true lasting confidence begins to take hold. No one is perfect, and real confidence comes from accepting that. Embracing your imperfections rather than hiding them empowers you to feel confident in your own skin. We all have areas we can improve on, but that doesn't diminish our worth. Recognizing your flaws and working to improve them shows strength, not weakness. Confidence grows from self-compassion and the willingness to grow, not from the illusion of perfection. Our society often glorifies perfection, especially in the age of social media, where everyone seems to showcase their ideal selves. The pressure to appear perfect or flawless can lead us to hide our imperfections or pretend they don't exist. But the truth is, perfection is unattainable, it's an illusion, and chasing it only sets us up for failure and frustration. Embracing imperfection doesn't mean accepting mediocrity. It means acknowledging that growth is a journey, not a destination. Real confidence arises when you are honest with yourself about your flaws and choose to work on them without shame. Whether it's your appearance, your habits, or aspects of your personality, your imperfections don't make you less worthy of love, respect, or success. In fact, they make you more human and relatable. When you accept your imperfections, you free yourself from the constant burden of trying to be perfect and instead focus on continuous self-improvement. It's also important to remember that growth is not immediate. It takes time to change habits, overcome weaknesses, and develop new skills. Confidence isn't about being flawless. It's about showing up, even when you're not perfect, and making the effort to improve. Every step you take to grow, no matter how small, is an act of self-love and self-respect. The more you practice self-compassion, the more confident you will become. Confidence is rooted in the understanding that nobody is perfect, and that's what makes us real. When you embrace your flaws and imperfections, you send a powerful message to yourself and others that you are worthy as you are. You are not defined by your mistakes or weaknesses, but by your ability to learn, grow, and continue striving to be your best self. Real confidence is found in the courage to be imperfect and to keep moving forward no matter what. Our confidence is deeply connected to authenticity. When you are true to yourself, even in challenging or uncomfortable situations, your confidence naturally shines through. Trying to please others or fit into someone else's mold will only create anxiety and doubt. But when you remain authentic, you feel grounded, and this allows your true confidence to emerge, making you more comfortable in every environment you step into. Staying true to yourself means not compromising your values, beliefs, or personality just to fit in or meet others' expectations. When you try to be someone you're not or act in a way that doesn't align with your true self, it creates inner conflict. This conflict drains your energy and causes self-doubt. On the other hand, when you are authentic, you carry a sense of peace and clarity. You stop trying to be everything to everyone and instead focus on being the best version of yourself. Authenticity allows you to stand tall even when others may not agree with you. It's about accepting that not everyone will like you, and that's perfectly fine. What matters is that you stay true to who you are and remain confident in your choices. The more you embrace authenticity, the less you'll feel the need to seek approval from others. You'll begin to trust yourself more and rely less on outside validation. This doesn't mean you should ignore feedback or criticism. Being authentic also means being open to growth, learning from mistakes, and being willing to change. But there's a big difference between changing to fit someone else's idea of who you should be and changing because you believe it aligns with your values and your authentic self. When you act from a place of authenticity, even challenges become opportunities to grow stronger and more self-assured. Confidence that comes from authenticity is powerful because it is grounded in self-trust. When you know who you are and are unafraid to show it, you radiate an inner strength that others can't ignore. Authenticity brings a sense of ease and confidence that allows you to navigate life with a calm assurance. Being true to yourself is the ultimate expression of confidence because it reflects a deep acceptance of who you are, regardless of external circumstances or opinions. Confidence grows when we stop fearing failure and embrace it as a part of life's journey. Many people hesitate to take risks because they fear failing or making mistakes. But it's important to understand that failure is not the opposite of success, it's a stepping stone towards it. When we stop seeing failure as something negative, we begin to approach life with a mindset that is not only resilient, but empowered. Failure teaches us valuable lessons that success simply cannot. Each mistake provides an opportunity to learn, adapt, and grow. Every time you fail, you are given a chance to assess what went wrong, improve, and come back stronger. Instead of seeing failure as a setback, view it as a lesson that refines your skills, sharpens your abilities, and prepares you for the next challenge. This mindset shift helps transform fear into motivation and pushes you to move forward no matter how many times you stumble. The fear of failure can often be paralyzing, making you hesitant to pursue your dreams or try new things. But when you let go of that fear and realize that failing is simply a part of the process, you free yourself to take bold steps. True confidence doesn't come from always succeeding. It comes from being willing to try, even when the outcome is uncertain. The courage to take action in the face of potential failure is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who never try at all. Moreover, embracing failure doesn't mean that you are comfortable with it. It means you understand that it's not the end. It's a temporary phase in your journey. Success isn't defined by a flawless path. It's the culmination of all your experiences, including the failures, challenges, and setbacks. When you approach failure with this understanding, you build resilience. Each failure reinforces the fact that you can rise again, learn from the experience, and keep going. By accepting failure as a natural part of growth, you also stop seeking perfection. You give yourself permission to be imperfect and to fail without losing confidence. True confidence arises from your ability to pick yourself up, learn, and keep moving forward. In the end, it's not your failures that define you, but your ability to learn from them and continue pursuing your goals with strength and determination. Real confidence is not about pretending to be perfect or having it all together. It's about trusting yourself, your abilities, and your judgment, even when things aren't going as planned. It's the willingness to show up, do your best, and keep going, no matter what challenges come your way. This inner trust in yourself forms the foundation of unshakable confidence, one that can withstand doubts, setbacks, and external opinion. Building trust in yourself is a gradual process. It starts with small acts of self-belief, where you commit to doing things that scare you, push your limits, or take you out of your comfort zone. Each time you succeed, even in small ways, your self-trust grows stronger. However, self-trust also involves learning to forgive yourself when things don't go as expected. Mistakes and setbacks are a part of life, but they don't have to define you. The way you respond to these challenges, with compassion and resilience, is what builds confidence over time. Self-trust is also about making decisions with confidence, even when the outcomes are uncertain. When you trust yourself, you don't second-guess every choice or wait for validation from others. You make decisions based on your values, your understanding, and your gut feelings. This autonomy allows you to navigate through life with clarity and strength, knowing that even if you make mistakes, you have the ability to learn, adapt, and grow. Another key aspect of self-trust is the understanding that you are your own biggest supporter. No matter what others say or think, you must be your own cheerleader. When you rely on others to build your confidence, you give away your power. But when you trust yourself, you find an unwavering sense of confidence that comes from within. It's a belief that no matter what life throws at you, you have the strength, the wisdom, and the resilience to face it head on. Ultimately, trusting yourself means accepting that you are capable of handling whatever life throws your way. It means recognizing your inner strength and relying on it to make decisions, take actions, and keep moving forward, even in the face of uncertainty. This trust in yourself is the foundation of true confidence, one that isn't shaken by failures, doubts, or outside opinions, but instead remains grounded in your belief in your own abilities and your ability to grow. True confidence is not about perfection or never failing, but about embracing your authentic self and believing in your ability to navigate the ups and downs of life. Confidence comes from self-acceptance, from knowing that you are enough, just as you are, and that your worth is not tied to the approval of others. It comes from trusting in your own abilities and decisions, even when the path is uncertain, and embracing the inevitable mistakes as part of your growth. When you stop seeking external validation and let go of the fear of failure, you free yourself to live more boldly and authentically. You begin to make choices based on what feels true to you rather than what others expect or approve of. This self-reliance is the key to lasting confidence. Confidence that doesn't depend on external factors, but on the unwavering trust you have in yourself. Confidence also grows through practice and perseverance. It's about showing up even when you feel insecure and continuing to push forward despite the challenges. Each time you take a risk, face a fear, or step outside your comfort zone, you build more confidence. Each failure becomes a lesson, each success an affirmation of your growth. The more you commit to showing up for yourself, the stronger your confidence becomes. In the end, the most important thing to remember is that confidence is a lifelong journey. It's something that develops over time and is nurtured by consistent positive actions and a deep understanding of your own value. Embrace your imperfections, trust yourself, and let go of the fear of failure. By doing so, you'll cultivate a confidence that is genuine, grounded, and unshakable. One that allows you to be yourself fully without needing anyone's approval. And that is the essence of real confidence.